Hey guys, it's me, Kougaon, and today I'm going to talk about the Gshade incident that happened. I don't know if I want to call it drama. This kind of scares me when it comes to somebody who, obviously has a computer and uses tools. And when a tool is able to use privileges on your computer and able to do certain things that you did not tell to do, that is scary. We're going to go into the whole Gshade incident today, and if you're listening to me talk right now, I highly recommend you uninstall Gshade as soon as possible, because what I'm about to tell you may scare you. It scared me. So let's talk about what exactly is Gshade. So if you're pretty much unfamiliar with Gshade is essentially a tool that allows you to make it so you put shaders into your game and make it look better. So think, Skyrim mods, EMB, injector type stuff, and Gshade's one of the most popular tools out there. Now, a tool that was, I guess, beloved by the community for the most part is suddenly under fire, and it is not looking hot because of what I'm about to tell you right now. And before we get into that, some people may argue of, is it okay to use shaders? I did find this post way back in 2013 talking about, is it okay to put, EMB injectors, shaders into 14? And pretty much what I found from this post was like an employee who at the time, I'm gonna say Robert because his name I cannot say, I'm sorry Robert, but essentially he said here that we won't do anything to basically restrict you guys from using that tool, and we don't really think that it really violates our agreement, but pretty much just use it at your own risk, essentially. In a way, he's kind of saying shaders and EMB injectors are okay to use, but this is back in 2013, so things have changed since then, and hey, look, that's a day before my birthday. But who knows if these tools are okay to use, and a lot of people are pretty much using this kind of thing to pretty much defend, like, it's okay to use shaders. Before I get into the whole entire Gshade thing, I want to point out right now that this is some of the things that Gshade was doing that wasn't really cool. It was really obnoxious, and essentially, a few days ago, people were discovering that, hey, you would get this obnoxious message if you didn't do things correctly, and it affected gameplay. Imagine playing 14, and one of the updates for Gshade pretty much has an annoying message as you're playing the game, and it had like, what, 1,000 likes? Wow, like a lot of people saw this entire thing. And pretty much if you see this pop up, it's really obnoxious and it's really annoying. So prior to what's happening today, people were not happy with Gshade with their updates, and they're just like, what the hell's going on over there? And today, it got worse. Right here, Perchbird found out that if you try to install, Gshade under certain conditions, it can actually restart your entire computer without your permission. Yeah, just like that. So without your permission, it can restart your entire system, and that is frightening, because what else can this thing do if you pretty much didn't give it permission to do so? So what's happening right here is Gshade, which is pretty much, I think, created by Perch, just to kind of do an example of this. But basically, it's trying to build off of Gshade and basically try to install it. But I guess because Gshade is detecting Gshade, it's doing the reset. And this is not cool, because pretty much imagine a program able to restart your computer, or even do worse. The creator of Gshade, Mara, pretty much came out and said, yeah, I put that in there because of another person's program. So going over it, there's like a whole message, but pretty much, so what's going on here is that Mara, who is pretty much like a developer for Gshade, came out and admitted to, yeah, we put this in here because this will trigger when Gshade installer detects anything that is like basically not a part of Gshade, or like a third-party tool, essentially. And he pretty much said that this is a lesson to you, Knight, that, we could have put anything else in that payload, but we chose to make it restart somebody's computer. And essentially, anybody who's using your tool in conjunction with ours, you're responsible for making this whole entire restart thing trigger, or any other payload that we put in there. Not only that, but in the last paragraph, he says, I chose a restart specifically because I wanted something that was still completely harmless, but slightly more noticeable than a quick process kill. This is very concerning, because this is Marat pretty much saying, hey, I could have put anything else inside there and pretty much messed somebody's computer up, and it would have been all your fault, Knight. This is scary, because I don't know about you guys, but I am not a big fan of anybody ever doing anything on my computer without my permission. Because a lot of people are obviously taking notice, and they're saying, like, pretty much, hey, like, we could have put anything inside there, but, putting a restart, that'll teach you a lesson tonight. And that is really scary, because obviously, you shouldn't have any program that does that without your permission, because, we want to use programs on our computer and have the idea that they're not doing anything malicious behind our backs and without our permission. So this is a message from a developer who pretty much pointed out how, like, it's really dangerous how a program is using administrative privileges to perform installations, and that's not something that, users should be able to let, people do freely. They pointed out how pretty much like how they've been doing this for a living for years, and this is very concerning, and to anyone who's using Gshade right now, find an alternative immediately, because this is not acceptable behavior. So why is this all happening? Well, essentially, Marat is, developer of Gshade. He's basically not happy with a user called Not Knight, and how they're essentially using a tool and creating a tool they are not happy with at Gshade. So Not Knight created Gshade, which is a really funny name, I like that. Essentially what it allows you to do is set up Reshade, a pretty much alternative to Gshade, but allowing you to put the Gshade presets into Reshade. So basically you're taking some assets from Gshade and using it in the rival alternative program. They don't like this. Gshade's not a big fan of that because obviously they want you to use Gshade, not another program. So they're not happy with that. And that led to the whole entire reason as to why this whole entire thing with Gshade being able to restart your computer because they just didn't want you to use another person's tool. Yeah. And, going back to the original post, this is scary because Gshade revealed that they can do more than just restart your computer. And that's scary because you shouldn't allow a program to do that unless you want it to do that. And the fact that they can do worse is very concerning. So the fact that Gshade came out here and is like, yeah, we can do this, that's not the play you want to do. And in fact, going back to the original message here, this is funny because this is towards Knight, right? And Knight even had to say, I hate to tell you this, but including malware in your code and saying, I was the one triggering it, is not the big brain play you think it is. Honestly, Not Knight is a gangster, dude. I think that's really funny that they said that. If you're wondering what the response is, I think literally a few hours later, Marat came out to say that, like, hey guys, my B. We removed that function. You won't restart your computer, and going forward, we won't do this shit ever again, essentially. I think it's too late. Personally, I think it's way too late. I think that the fact that you're able to reveal that, yeah, we could do this to anyone's computer and we can do worse is very frightening, and I don't like that. So the fact that you guys are coming out and apologizing, it's too late because you revealed your hand and what you can do, and I am just like, yo, my man. No, this is a big yikes. It's a big yikes for Gshade community. And that's where we are right now. So basically, Gshade has issued like this pretty much an apology for pretty much what happened. And going forward, they're like, hey, we won't do this ever again, but I think they already betrayed the trust of everybody. And it's so funny, in fact, that other people have made their own tools right here, where pretty much this person created a tool to allow you to essentially unhook Gshade, copy its shaders, and then rehook it to Reshade instead. So people are not happy with Gshade, and for all the right reasons, and I agree. So essentially, that is the Gshade incident and pretty much the whole entire situation summed up to this moment right now. If you choose to continue using it, just know what you're getting yourself into. People were using Gshade for the longest time, and like the fact that this happened today, that is not good. And I would say going forward, I don't know what Gshade can do to pretty much build reputation and trust again, but good luck to them, because for anybody out there, find alternatives. I highly recommend that. And I would have to say that is the end of today's story. I got nothing to say other than this is like a huge PR mess for Gshade. But yeah. But anyways, thank you guys for watching today, and I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you guys, hopefully not on the restart side of Gshade taking over your computer. Anyways, have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys later.